Hi, welcome to the Suffolk Human Performance channel. Today we'll show you the basics on how to use STATSports Viper GPS system. We'll show you how to download the data and how to navigate the software. So let's get into the software now. So if we double click on the STATSports icon on our desktop, it'll bring us into the software. And then now we need to make sure that all our players have been added onto the software. It's very important before we start to download the data. So if we click data on the top and add player, and then we'll put in player 1, but you'd normally put in whatever player's name and make sure, like I say, all the players are added on there. You can add in their height, their weight, maximum heart rate, etc. But for today we'll just put player 1 and then click save. So then you'll see that player 1 has now been populated in the list on the left hand side. So make sure that the dock is connected via USB and then go file and download. And you'll see that the units selection screen comes up. So now we'll start to add the units into the docking station, and we'll add them in slot 1 to 4 across the top, then 5 to 8, and then 9 to 12. And we come back to the unit selection and they're all green, so we know that's okay. So click next. So the software will now scan all of the units to see what data is on there. This can take a couple of moments, so I have sped up the video for you. So now we're at the session selection screen. So you then pick your players that you've added in previously. So today we're just going to go unit 1, unit 2, etc. But you'd add in your real players that took part in the session. So I've just sped this up as well for you. And once you're finished, click next. So now the software will then go through and import all the data from the units into the software. So when that's finished, you'll get a complete message and you're looking for 12 green boxes and 12 green ticks, so that's excellent. So you just click finish, and now you'll see if we scan across on the left hand side and find the date of our session, October, there we go, select that, and then you'll see if we scroll down on the left, you'll see that all our players, all our units in this case, have been added into that session. So if we click participants, make sure our session is selected to have a look at the data. So if we select multiple sessions, and then if we click on performance, and you'll see a list in graphical form of each unit or each player and all the metrics that have been recorded. So we've got total distance, heart rate, high speed distance, but you can change these depending on what you're more interested to look at. This can also be viewed in table format, so if you click summary, so then you can see the exact figures. We scroll down, so you've got unit 1 to 12 on there and all the different metrics. The metrics can be configured, so if you click on config, you can change which ones you want to see and which ones you don't. So if you just drag it out, if you don't want to see it like that, and then if we find one we might be more interested in, so impacts, so if we click and then drag that, and that's now into the list on the right hand side. So if you click save, and then if we just refresh this screen, go back into summary, and you'll see on the right hand side it's now got the list of impacts as well. You can also look at individual players' data. So if you click on, we're going to click unit 1 and then individual and then activity graph, you'll see the player's individual data. So the red line is his heart rate and the blue is their movement. So on the left hand y-axis you've got speed, on the right hand axis you've got heart rate, and then across the x-axis across the bottom is the time of day or the time of the session. What we can also do is make a drill. So if we want to make just say the warm-up or the first half, second half, etc., you can click and then drag across the time on the bottom depending on what time the drill took place. So we'll do the first half of this match, and then that will zoom in. So if you go right mouse click and then create drill, that will go through and create a drill now for us. You'll see the white bar underneath the graph where it says name and start time. So if you click in the name, we can give our drill a name. So if we just write first half, and if you hit enter, it'll update the drill. And on the right hand side underneath entire session, we'll see first half. So if you click on that, then that will show you just the data from that first half period. And what you can do, you can apply that drill to all the players in the session. So if you click right mouse click apply drill, you can select the players or just click apply to all and apply. And now that will update every single player in that session so they have that drill on their data set. So now if we click on players on the left hand side at unit 10, and you'll see that that drill has then been applied to that player. That's the same for all the other players in there as well. So check another one. Yep, you see that drill has been applied. We can also generate reports. So if we want to send a PDF report to a different player or a different coach, just make sure our session's selected on the top and participants is selected on the left, and then click reports and then generate, then go out to session, and we'll set the default today, but you could have a different template for a different team or a different department, and then we'll give it a name. So we'll just write test data in there and then click save. You can put any notes in there you might want to put on there, and then if we just make that bigger and zoom in, you'll see this has created a PDF document with all the data from that session on there. Again, the graphs can then be configured so you can have different data for a different template. So we have high speed running, meters per minute. You can, any of the metrics that you see in the software, you can add into the PDF report. The data can also be exported to Excel if you want to do some more in-depth analysis on the data. So if we go reports and export data to Excel, and then we can give it a name, and then decide where we want to save it, and then click save. And if we come out of the software, you'll see that an Excel file has been created on the desktop. So they're the basics on how to use the STATSports GPS Viper system. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up or a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.